Bears fans, what's up? I'm coming at you with a quick update straight from the practice field before I head out on vacation. The mandatory minicamp wrapped up a little earlier than usual today, so I figured it's the perfect moment to give you a solid rundown on everything that went down. We're in one of those rare off-season pockets where things are quieter. Veterans now get about 6 weeks off, and next week will just be rookies running the show for the final OTAs before training camp kicks off again late July. So for now, it's a bit of a breather, but there's still some interesting nuggets to unpack. Today's practice had a pretty relaxed vibe overall. Not too intense, almost felt like one of those Friday sessions during the regular season where the coaches keep it loose but productive. At the tail end of practice, they ran some situational drills that gave a glimpse into how the team is shaping up. There was also some playful energy, especially during warm-ups. Something a bit unusual happened with the offensive line and quarterbacks catching passes, which definitely got some heads turning. It's clear that Ben Johnson, the new head coach, has some creative ideas brewing and isn't shy about experimenting with trick plays or unconventional strategies. He hinted that they have some candidates who might be involved in some sneaky plays this season, which could add an exciting wrinkle to the Bears' offense. One of the fun moments floating around from today's practice was watching Darnell Wright pull off a slick one-handed catch that's already buzzing on social media. Caleb Williams also threw a deep ball that led to a touchdown catch by DJ Moore, showing some promising connections early on. Even Case Keenum got in on the action with a behind-the-back catch 50 yards downfield, which Ben Johnson called the "I'll catch of the day." It was just a good day for keeping things loose, showcasing skills, and building momentum heading into the heavier parts of the preseason. Ben Johnson's feedback on the team's progress is interesting, especially when it comes to players who might be flying under the radar. Yesterday, he was asked if any unexpected players had stood out during the minicamp, and he promised to reveal those names today. He dropped 4 names, and they're definitely worth paying attention to because they could shake up the roster and add depth in key areas. First up, Dominique Robinson caught my attention because he plays a position that doesn't have a lot of depth on this roster: defensive end, or more specifically, pass rusher. Despite practicing without pads, he's shown some positive signs. What makes him particularly valuable is his impact on special teams, which was a real strength for him last year. You might remember that blocked punt against Minnesota and some other solid moments where he contributed to the field position battle in a position group that's a bit thin after Montez Sweat and Dio Dingbo, with Austin Booker seemingly safe and Daniel Hardy being more of a tweener between defensive end and linebacker. Robinson's versatility and physicality give him a shot at making the team. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, clearly values big physical bodies on the edge, so if Robinson can bring that in training camp and preseason, he might just carve out a role for himself for the 4th straight year. Next on the list is Ruben Hippley, a rookie linebacker out of Maryland who's been called the most improved player throughout the OTAs so far. This is huge, because the Bears still have some questions at the 3rd linebacker spot behind the starters, TJ Edwards and Tameen Williams. TJ has been dealing with a soft tissue injury, opening more reps for Hippley and other young players like Noah Sewell. Ben Johnson highlighted Hippley's quick learning curve and impressive athleticism, which have stood out on multiple occasions. Reports suggest he made a nice pass breakup defending against Cole Kmet during one of the practices, which is impressive. For a rookie still adjusting to the NFL speed and complexity, if Hippley can keep picking up the mental side of the game as fast as he's learning the physical aspects, he has a real chance to see some playing time this season. He's also expected to be a strong contributor on special teams, which is often the gateway for rookies trying to break into the lineup. Now, here's a name that honestly caught me off guard: Joel Wilson, a tight end who hasn't really been on anyone's radar this offseason. Ben Johnson mentioned him as an unexpected bright spot, and I had to dig a bit to get a better sense of who he is. Wilson is an undrafted free agent from Central Michigan who's bounced around 5 NFL teams over 2 years, including the Saints, Bills, Packers, Giants, and now the Bears practice squad. He's never made a 53-man roster yet, so his inclusion here is definitely a surprise, but there could be reasons why he's suddenly catching some eyes. With Cole Kmet and Durham Smythe appearing to be locks on the roster, and the Bears running plenty of 12 personnel sets, which feature multiple tight ends, there might be room for a fourth tight end. If Wilson can show that he's a reliable receiver and maybe even contribute as a fullback in some packages, that versatility could work in his favor. His college numbers at Central Michigan were solid. 82 catches, 874 yards, and 12 touchdowns, indicating he was a red zone threat. Ben Johnson seems intrigued by his receiving skills, which suggests Wilson could surprise some people if he continues to develop in the offseason. Lastly, Kyle Manungi, the running back from Rutgers, has really been turning heads during the last few days of minicamp. His quickness and ability to catch the ball out of the backfield have stood out, which is an encouraging sign considering his previous college usage. At Rutgers, he was primarily a between-the-tackles runner and a solid blitz protector, but wasn't heavily involved in the passing game. Now, showing that he can be a reliable receiver adds a valuable dimension to his skill set and increases his chances of earning playing time. If he continues to impress in pass-catching drills and runs with the same power and agility he's shown so far, Manungi could carve out a meaningful role on offense and special teams alike. In the midst of all this Bears camp talk, there's some big NFL news that affects the league's landscape, and Bears fans will want to hear this. It looks like Aaron Rodgers, the longtime Packers quarterback, is officially signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers and will be participating in their mandatory minicamp next week. This is huge because it means Rodgers will almost certainly come to Soldier Field in Week 12 to face the Bears for what could very well be his last time playing in Chicago. Fans will be eager to see if the Bears can finally get a win against him on home turf before he retires or moves on. It definitely adds some extra spice to that game and the season overall. So while the Bears veterans enjoy their time off and rookies get ready for the final OTAs, there's plenty of interesting storylines unfolding. The emergence of players like Robinson, Hippoly, Wilson, and Manungi could be crucial for Chicago as they look to build depth and compete in a tough division. Meanwhile, the creative spark from the coaching staff is keeping practice engaging, and fans can look forward to some surprises when training camp finally kicks off in a few weeks. This offseason might feel slow now, but the foundations are being laid for an exciting ride ahead. As we keep peeling back the layers on this minicamp and the Bears offseason development, there's a lot more to dig into beyond just the surprise. Standouts. One of the most fascinating aspects of these early practices is watching how the offense and defense are starting to sync up. There's a healthy back and forth dynamic that's been noticeable, especially as the defense tries to contain the aggressive playmakers on offense. Caleb Williams, for example, has shown some impressive arm strength and mobility, launching deep balls that have connected with receivers like DJ Moore in ways that hint at a more explosive passing game. Of course, not every throw is perfect. There was that interception during a 2-minute drill by Tyreek Stevenson, which seemed to come from a ball that may not have been cleanly released, perhaps thrown across the body or caught in a bit of traffic. Still, that's part of the growing pains for a young quarterback adjusting to a new system. Ben Johnson's commitment to reviewing film and making adjustments on the fly shows a level of detail and care that should benefit the team as the weeks progress. What's also intriguing is how the coaching staff is incorporating unconventional drills and drills that break the usual mold. Seeing offensive linemen and quarterbacks catch passes during warm-ups is not just a quirky visual. It's a glimpse into the creativity that Johnson wants to bring to the offense. Having linemen who can catch a pass opens the door to trick plays, misdirections, and unpredictable moments that can swing momentum during a game. These are the kind of wrinkles that make watching Bears games even more compelling, especially if they can successfully execute on game day. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are growing louder around the Chicago Bears locker room as a possible internal crisis seems to be unfolding. Sources close to the team hint at a significant rift between quarterback Caleb Williams and wide receiver DJ Moore, raising questions about team chemistry just as the Bears aim to make a strong push this season. Rumors suggest that Williams has reportedly refused to play alongside Moore, sparking speculation about tensions that could be affecting the Bears' offensive dynamics. While official statements remain scarce and the organization has yet to address these swirling rumors, insiders indicate that the friction between the two stars is more than just a typical locker room disagreement. The Bears, who have been in rebuilding mode, have pinned high hopes on Caleb Williams after acquiring him, with expectations that he will lead their offense to new heights. Meanwhile, DJ Moore, a proven wide receiver, has been one of the team's most reliable targets, boasting impressive stats and a reputation for clutch performances. However, if these reports hold any truth, the synergy between the quarterback and his top receiver might be at risk of unraveling. Experts speculate that such a division could stem from differences in playing style, leadership clashes, or even off-field issues. The impact of such a feud cannot be underestimated. The quarterback-receiver connection is crucial to any successful passing game, and disruption here could derail the Bears' season ambitions. Fans have started voicing concerns on social media, debating what this could mean for the Bears' prospects. Some argue that if the conflict is real, the front office might be forced to intervene, potentially considering trades or adjustments in the roster to preserve harmony. Others hope this is merely a temporary bump in the road, a rumor blown out of proportion amid the pressure cooker environment of professional sports. The Bears have a pivotal season ahead, with expectations mounting both from management and their passionate fan base. How this alleged conflict will be resolved remains to be seen. But for now, the Chicago locker room is buzzing with uncertainty, and all eyes will be on how Caleb Williams and DJ Moore navigate this storm. If the tension escalates or remains unaddressed, it could spell trouble for the Bears' aspirations. For now, the only certainty is that the Bears are far from a settled team, and the drama unfolding off the field might prove just as challenging as the games they face on. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.